What is up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Reports. Today I bring you an anime review of Kiznaiver episode 4. You know, when this episode is over, it's gonna be up there at the very least on my personal favorite list because, like, this episode was really chill. It was really laid back, and we got the characters that were all split off into pairs so we can see how they interact with each other and different dynamics that each one brings, as each one played off each other very well this episode, and it's really enjoyable. It's not as crazy as a series that Studio Trigger usually brings. This is surprisingly pretty grounded compared to the things that we're seeing, even with Space Control Lulico right now, which I'm not watching. That is way more like Kill la Kill than this series is, which a lot of people, including myself, were expecting. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to get that wild and crazy. I think this is probably going to be their most grounded series to date, as it's building up to be more of a series about the characters itself instead of the wild and crazy action, because I'll get to that in the breakdown, of course, but it's going to be some action, but I think it's just going to be a more grounded series than we're used to seeing from Studio Trigger. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the breakdown. So with this episode, it starts off again with Katsuki, and he is having that same dream again because he keeps seeing the girl who said one day you will get your pain back, but it's expanded a little bit further this episode as she got a little bit more dialogue with him, or we saw a little bit more dialogue at this point, with her explaining that, you know, Katsu's not like everybody else. He has the ability to get his pain back where everybody doesn't. And this girl mentioned at that point that she wants everyone to feel what they feel in a roundabout way. It was real convoluted, but what I got out of it is that this girl overall wanted everybody to experience their pain. It's kind of an origin of the Kizuna system, as we get confirmation that that girl in the dream is Sonozaki, and we knew that already. It was just too blatant, but this dream kind of put the nail in the coffin and saying, yep, that was definitely her, as when she said that, the thing that she wanted, basically peace or feeling for everyone, you know, Katsu saw her dressed up as Sonozaki in current time as he woke up from his dream, and then we go into the introduction. And let me tell you, you know, the visuals for the intro was of course great, but as the weeks go on and on, I'm really liking this opening. I mean, I keep saying it every week, I don't think anything is going to top Joker Game as far as opening of the season because we're too far in for a change, but that lay your hands on me, I mean, it's just a nice feel good opening, and it gets you ready for the zaniness that this series has. So with that being said, we get past the opening and back to our now combined 7 Kiznaivers, as we get a little bit more backstory on Immoral, or not backstory, but we just get more of where he's coming from as a Kiznaiver, as he blatantly says, I'm a masochist. And of course, that's no surprise to anybody after his behavior that he had last episode, but he says he's more of a masochist of sudden pain. Like, he loves pain that's just out of nowhere. Like, oh yeah, I like to just get hit by cars out of nowhere, or I want somebody to come behind me and just hit me in the head with a bat. That type of thing, just woo. And the voice actor, I commend him because he's making him really creepy, and it's not like a bad creepy, it's just like he literally gets off on like this sudden pain. It's like when he's talking about it, he's just all shivering. He's just like, oh, I love it. And this probably explains, or we'll find out later, why he absorbs more pain than the rest of the Kiznaivers, because it's split between all 7, but he gets the bulk of the pain because he enjoys it so much. So it was pretty cool to see that. And just like I was saying, the characters for a majority of the episode, they're going to get split off in pairs. And one character that I must say that I enjoy right now is Maki. I didn't like her at first. I thought, you know, she was kind of, I'm going to be honest, she was kind of being like a bitch, or, you know, every time a mission comes up, she didn't want to participate in it. But she is now the burn queen, and she was just roasting Yuta the entire episode. They had a scene where her and Yuta were together, and it all stemmed from Nico basically saying that all 7, everybody all together, all 7, we're friends now since we're connected. But Maki was kind of like, I'm not your friend. I would be more of an acquaintance to you guys. I just want to get past these trials, get out this system, and go home. Which kind of hurt Nico's feelings, And also with Nico, she's also a little bit bummed out because now with Immoral there, she is not the resident weirdo anymore, because everybody's just kind of looking like this guy's admitting that he's a masochist, so that's more strange than you right now. But, you know, Nico is basically saying that we're all friends now. Maki wasn't cool with it, like we're just acquaintances. So she gets split off with Yuta, and Yuta saying, you know, you really do have a bad personality. You know, the least you could have did was just humor her and just said we were friends, because you saw how broken up she was. And Maki, you know, she didn't care. She's like, I'm not here to be you guys' friends. I'm just trying to get through the program, just like I explained. And Yuta was, of course, trying to hit on her because he feels that she's attractive. He was like, you know, you're really attractive. I'm the type of person, I'm invested in the looks instead of personality. And you know what? You have a really nice rack, too. And she was like, well, when you were in middle school and you were fat, your rack was bigger than mine. Like, boom, roasted. I mean, she was just giving it to this dude. And him being fat before he got to high school is going to be the butt end of the joke of a lot of episodes, as even when we get on to the mission later, and I'm going to go ahead and just, since I'm explaining it anyway, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there, is that one mission that they have to have today is to eat a big bowl of rice all together, and they have to finish it within 30 minutes. And Tenga's just like, well, you used to be fat, so you eating this would be no problem. So it was good to see the characters split off and get a little bit more interaction to them. And again, this was a really chill episode. It just dealt with these people being linked together and staying together and building their bonds. And it's good to see that, even though we're getting kind of deep in the series right now, because I think it only has 12 or 13 episodes. And we're almost at the halfway point, so things need to get picking up. That's where things get fun. So at this point, we're approaching the end of the school year and summer's coming. And remember, the Kiznaivers have to survive summer vacation in order to pass the system. And Hisomu, you know, Immoral, he shows up in class for the first time today. And everybody's kind of looking like, what are you doing here? You haven't been here all year, so why show up now? But he likes being around these people, especially since they're just going to bring him more pain. So he was like, you know, I just decided to show up in school today. And with that being said, that furthers Nico wanting everybody to, you know, exchange numbers and be friends. That led to the whole thing that happened between her and Maki. And Katsuhira, at this point, he actually flags down Sonozaki, as everybody's wondering how come she's just up in the office somewhere taking out the missions. If she wants to, you know, be a part of the system and want the system to work, why isn't she down here with us? So she actually shows up to give them their next mission, which will be to go to this restaurant and eat the big bowl of rice, or that's going to be a start of missions. They're going to have a series of trials that's going to lead up to the summer vacation thing. And Katsu actually flags her down at this point and kind of isolates him to herself by saying, your whole ideal is to have everybody be in peace and have this acquaintance and want everybody to be one, but you're so distant. So in a way, he kind of smoothing her up to want to be around the rest of the gang more. And we also see she has a Kiznaiver mark on her neck too. Again, furthering the theory that she was, or verifying the theory that she was a kid that was up on the beam that we saw ever since the first episode. So I wonder if she passed her trials and got out, or what went on with her. Things are going to get juicy to find out. But the whole point of this was Katsu basically asked her for her number, her email address, so they can be connected just like everybody else. And they decide to go on to their next trial, which is a bus ride together. And on this bus ride, she actually joins them. So now you have all 7 of the Kiznaivers together along with Sonozaki, and they keep playing this game. The game is called, it's something with an S. I don't remember the exact name of the game, but everybody has to say a word and it can't end with an N. So, you know, everybody is going like, you say this, or moral, wherever he keeps saying has something to do with suicide, like water torture. And it gets to Sonozaki and she fails every time on purpose. But the fact to see her with the rest of the group right now and at least trying to interact is a big step for her. Now, this also leads to a big melt between Chidori and Katsu, as Katsu is going out of his way to make sure that Sonozaki's with everybody. He has some type of connection to her, because now we know that she is someone from his past, and maybe those feelings that he may have had for her are coming back, or he wants a closer connection. Meanwhile, Chidori is getting a little bit salty because she just spilled her guts out for this guy and he pays her zero attention right now. So you get a little bit of tension there, and you also get a little bit more build up with Tenga as a character, as he notices what is going on between Chidori and Katsu, and he's offering to help her, you know, try to make things right with him or win him over. But they're becoming such good friends now, and it's becoming a little bit more than her just bashing him and just hitting him out of spite. They're becoming more friends, and she's actually shocked that he wants to help her with this. So you see them coming a little bit closer together. Nico and Immoral, they're playing off each other because they're both so weird, so they really like each other. And then you got Yuta and Maki, who are two polar opposites. You know, Yuta is full of himself, he's arrogant, he's a flirt, while Maki, she keeps to herself and she tells it like it is. Yuta's more attracted to physical, and Maki's more attracted to personality and mental. So that's why I was saying they split everybody off and you got to know their personalities individually, and they kind of put opposites together and making them work. So this is almost a side project as these guys are getting to know each other more and more. Also, while this bus ride is going on, Sonozaki promised Maki and the others that if Maki goes along with the plan and just does what they ask, she'll reveal more to them about the Kiznaivers and the Kizuna system, as we find out that the system or the experiment is going on in a city, but it used to be on a broader scale. However, people started dropping out and people started leaving the city, and how they judged who will be into the system. You know those chicken mascot things that are going around the city? Those are actually people working for the Kizuna committee, and they're going around getting data on people individually. So that's how they're picking their candidates for the system. We also find out that people were leaving Sugimura City. However, word of what the Kizuna system can do after that conference is spreading around, and now more countries are interested in the system as well. We also get a little bit of suspicion from both Maki and Yuta, as they wonder why someone like Immoral is with them, somebody that loves pain. Why is he there on a team full of people who whole point is to not have pain? So he's looking a little bit suspicious, and they're like, on top of now Sonozaki wants to always be around, it just doesn't rub them the right way. Also, we are finally getting a little bit of a plot, or at least an arc of what's going on in this series right now. As remember the two bullies from the first episode who were bullying Katsu and they got beat up by Tenga? Well, they're down and out right now because they don't have anybody to beat up and take money from every day, since Tenga is protecting Katsu. So they just decided, let's just get revenge on Tenga by killing him. They're in the arcade playing a game, and the counselor lady overhears this and says, you know what, that's a good idea. How about I help you with that? And they're looking like, wait a minute, you work for the school. Why are you going to try to help us kill a student? Classic Studio Trigger fashion. And she's playing like a shooting game, you know, kind of like Time Crisis or something. And she just pulls out a machine gun, just starts shooting at the glass. And then she offers to help the bullies kill Tenga right now. And she takes them off. And towards the end of the episode, we see the counselor, the teacher who's over their homeroom, as well as the two bullies, are tied up, and she's forcing them to play that same game that our Kiznaivers were playing on the bus, where you have to say a word where you can't end with N. She has the two bullies tied up, and she's put them into the Kizuna system now, and they're linked by their pain. And she says, dead endo, and smiles into the series, as it looks like we're finally going to get some type of villain, because people coming after Tenga, that's going to equal pain. And of course they're going to have to defend themselves. So let's see how that goes. And that was the end of the episode. Again, it was more along the lines of just splitting the characters up and getting more characterization this episode than anything. But I like that we're finally at least getting some type of wheels moving with some type of menace going on as well. So that was the episode in a nutshell. Let me know what you thought of the episode yourself. Do you feel that maybe Immoral is up to something? Like I said before, this series has to have a villain, and he has all the characterizations as if what I was predicting would be a villain in this series is somebody who has no regard for anybody else. So maybe he has something planned, or maybe Sonozaki's a villain. That would be a good twist. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and end it here. As I always say, thank you guys for stopping by. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as I continue to bring you guys content almost daily right now. I might as well just go ahead and say daily, but there's nothing on Mondays right now, so pretty much every day. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now if you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So on that note, thank you guys for joining the Scout Report. It's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.